Welcome back. There has been another increase in the number of tourists visiting our shores. According to the Attorney General and Minister for Tourism, Ayaz Said Qayyum, in the first quarter of the year, Fiji welcomed 4,500 more visitors compared to the same period last year. 8,899 tourists arrived in the first quarter of this year. The Minister for Tourism, Ayaz Said Qayyum, said most of the visitors were from Australia, the United States, China and Canada. Despite economic sanctions imposed by Australia and New Zealand in the wake of the military takeover, the increasing number of tourists continues. There has been a reduction in arrivals from Korea, Japan and India. Meanwhile, Dixon Sito, president of the Fiji Hotel Association, says the tourism market from Australia and New Zealand is strong and stable, but China and India are likely to provide the greatest possibility for growth in visitor numbers. The news comes with a call for Fiji to boost Mandarin language instruction to boost the country's attractiveness to Chinese tourists. Mr. Sito said Chinese tourists are looking for the same things other visitors are, such as diving, snorkeling and cultural experiences. Usually, most tourists from China do not speak English, and which can be a challenge for tourism operators in Fiji who want to make them feel comfortable. Mr. Sito said previously there was a campaign to teach Japanese to hotel workers which was quite successful. He said the tourism sector should look at similar training in Mandarin because there is a need to make the Chinese visitors feel comfortable and welcome. All medical practitioners, doctors, dentists, dental therapists, dental hygienists and dental technicians have to register with the Fiji Medical and Dental Secretariat for their annual practicing certificates. According to the Chief Executive Officer and Registrar for the Fiji Medical and Dental Secretariat, Dharmesh Prasad, all medical practitioners should ensure that their annual practicing certificates, or APC, is renewed by the 30th of June. By the end of this month, all practitioners are required to display their APC at their own operation office, and failure to do so will be in contravention of the Medical and Dental Practitioner Decree 2010.
You may know that the Medical and Dental Practitioners Decree 2010 is being implemented now, and one of the major requirements is to ensure that all medical and dental practitioners are licensed, registered and licensed to practice in Fiji. Medical practitioners will include doctors, and the dental practitioners now include dentists, dental therapists, dental hygienists and dental technicians. Now, the practicing certificate is a fundamental requirement of the decree, and this goes on the reason that the practicing certificate is to ensure that the patients know who is sort of treating them and what is the scope of the practitioner.
More so, it also fortifies the integrity and transparency of the practitioner. It also diminishes the likelihood of another person pretending to be a particular doctor or dentist.
Like I said, it is one of the fundamental requirements of the Medical and Dental Practitioner Decree 2010, which is the rule of the day. And if anybody who contravenes the rule, this is so more or less acting illegally. That means if a practitioner does not have a practicing certificate, that person does not have a right to practice. That person does not have a right to see patients.
The annual practicing certificates will only be released upon full payment of the prescribed fees.
My team has been working diligently throughout this year. We began this process of registration from January this year, and we have set a deadline now to June 30th. We have extensively tried to get in touch with all the practitioners around the country. I understand it has been quite an onerous and difficult task, just because of the nature of how our practitioners are all around the country. But we have made huge amount of progress, mainly thanks to all the practitioners who have been very cooperative, and I would like to think that we have reached everybody, and we've been in constant communication with them, and we have sorted this out. So come 1st July, we will start on our compliance process. What we would do is go around the country and visit hospitals, visit private practitioners, and by that time they should have this practicing certificate with them.
The Commissioner Western's office, the District Officer's office, Tabua Nandaribatu, the Social Welfare Office and the Votokola Gold Mines Limited office are now issuing forms for redundant workers to apply for assistance under the Votokola Social Assistance Trust Fund. According to the Acting Permanent Secretary for Lands and Mineral Resources, Penem Balenambuli, the Votokola gold mine workers that were laid off in 2006 can now apply for this assistance.
The government has endorsed that the ministry now implement the Votokola Social Assistance Trust Fund. So what we're doing now is to invite those former employees of Votokola Gold Mine, those that were made redundant in 2006. We have application forms available at the DO Nandaribatu, DO Tavua's office, at the Commissioner Western's office, as well as the Divisional Surveyor Western's office. For those that are around Suva, you could collect the application forms at the Mineral Resources Department at Nambua, and also at the Ministry of Lands and Mineral Resources headquarters at Nasese in Suva. Please fill in those application forms and note that the due date is on the 31st of July 2011.
In 2009, government and the Votokola Gold Mines Limited signed the Votokola deed under which government would provide certain tax incentives for the company. In return, Votokola would provide $6 million over a 5-year period for the Votokola Social Assistance Trust Fund. The Votokola Social Assistance Trust Fund have just established the trust fund now, even though the deed was signed in December 2009. The process of picking representatives from the workers, government and the unions to act as trustees has just completed.
Absolutely. The Votokola Social Assistance Trust Fund, that is a form of assistance that this government is giving to those people, the employees that were made redundant in 2006 and not any time earlier. So it's absolutely important for members of the public to note very well, particularly those that have been employed at Votokola. If you are one of those employees who were made redundant in 2006, this is your opportunity now to apply for part of this assistance to come to you.
This trust fund is aimed at helping workers who were made redundant in December 2006. It is hoped the fund will help provide alternate livelihoods, provide employment opportunities, finance reskilling programs, settle their dues, and also to help in the environment due to the effects of the mining in Votokola. Stay with us. New U.S. Embassy to strengthen regional ties and termite infestation numbers decrease.